Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Warning. This article contains spoilers for Reacher Season 3's final. Reacher Season 3 finished in the chaotic fashion we've come to expect with the action series. But despite the protagonist justifiably offing several key villains, I still can't believe he killed one minor character. After thwarting Quinn's ambush and heading back to Beck's party to disrupt the arms deal, the central characters managed to take down Quinn and Polly while offering a satisfying ending to Reacher Season 3. While their initial plan was supposed to be stealthy, Reacher's use of shotguns caused all hell to break loose, culminating in a full-blown shootout in and around Beck's mansion. Unsurprisingly, Reacher had no issues with taking down as many of Quinn's men as he could find, with the protagonist looking extra bloodthirsty in the finale. Given Xavier Quinn is arguably Reacher's best villain, as well as his most personal emotions seemed to get the better of the leading man throughout the season, particularly in the last episode. Not only was he as ruthless as ever, but he even went against his usually pragmatic judgment and killed a seemingly irrelevant side character, the kind of decision that proved his mission was motivated purely by revenge. While many of Reacher's kills were necessary and even warranted in Season 3's finale, killing the truck driver didn't need to happen. Following the ambush, Reacher and his crew kept the truck driver alive so that they could drive through the front gate of Beck's estate without Polly suspecting any foul play, a plan that proved successful. However, after parking the trucks, the protagonist searched for some rope to tie up the driver, but after failing to find any, he killed him instead. Although the scene was painted as humorous, it highlighted how savage Reacher was throughout Season 3. Even without any rope, Reacher could have easily knocked out the driver and hit him in the back of the truck, which would have been just as effective as shooting him. Of course, there is always the chance he would have woken up and caused problems before the heroes completed their mission, but executing him felt like overkill. Whereas Quinn and Polly's Reacher deaths felt unavoidable, killing the truck driver highlighted that, despite his good nature, Reacher still has some moral flaws, as he showed a complete disregard for his victim's life, despite knowing nothing about his backstory. Quinn's sinister nature may make his gang seem guilty by association, but Zachary Beck's storyline proved that wasn't quite the case. Beck was no angel by any means, as he did willingly get into the gun-running industry, but he was nowhere near as cruel as Quinn, who forcefully took over his operation. Additionally, using the logic that anyone who is involved with Quinn is worthy of death means Richard and his father's staff could also be seen as disposable, yet Reacher knows many of them are actually good people, having spent time with them while undercover. Therefore, killing the driver makes it seem like Reacher has completely forgotten the fact that some people are forced to work for Quinn. Sure, the driver attempted to send a text warning the villain that the ambush went wrong, but he also followed Reacher's orders when his back was against the wall. As a result, it's impossible to know whether the driver was a willing participant or an unfortunate victim, but the protagonist seemed completely apathetic to his situation, and Villanueva even called out Reacher's killing problems in Season 3. However, these criticisms were strangely ignored in the finale. Reacher's excessive violence felt like a quietly important theme throughout Season 3, making it all the more surprising that the show stopped questioning his actions. Villanueva's concern about Reacher killing Angel and Mike felt pretty valid, and although Duffy was less interested, even she acknowledged his behavior was a little reckless. Naturally, the DEA agents got to know the protagonist better as the season went on and learned to trust his judgment, but it still feels a little weird that they stopped calling him out and essentially enabled his ruthless side in the finale. Rather than berating him for killing the truck driver, Duffy simply responds with a mildly annoyed, "Are you kidding me?" Additionally, no one seemed upset when Reacher used shotguns and compromised the plan. Instead, they improvised and went loud themselves, leading to a frantic shootout that could have ended badly. While Reacher ultimately helped save the day in the end, Beck still died as a result of the protagonist being a little kill-happy, and his excessive violence could have had bigger ramifications, proving that the main character should have faced a little more criticism from his allies in Reacher Season 3's finale. The adrenaline-fueled world of Reacher has captivated audiences since its inception, bringing the beloved character created by Lee Child to life in ways that resonate with both die-hard fans and newcomers alike. As fans sat down to watch the thrilling finale of Season 3, expectations were high. Viewers anticipated nail-biting action, plot twists, and maybe even the resolution of some lingering character arcs. However, what transpired in the final episode left many shaking their heads in disbelief, especially with the controversial decision to introduce a shocking and brutal ending for a minor character. One that would leave a lasting impact on Jack Reacher's journey and the series itself. Throughout the series, Jack Reacher is presented as a complex character, a former military policeman with a deep moral code who ruthlessly defends the innocent. His unwavering commitment to justice is coupled with a certain degree of pragmatism. He navigates dangerous situations with wit and strength, often delivering his brand of justice with measured violence when necessary. However, the stakes have never felt as personal as they did in the Season 3 climax, when Reacher killed a minor character whose fate seemed unimportant until that very moment. For many viewers, the character in question was a seemingly inconsequential figure, someone who flitted in and out of scenes, a piece in the larger puzzle of a story that focused on high-stakes espionage and criminal enterprises. Yet, in the closing moments of the season, this minor character unexpectedly found themselves face to face with Reacher. The tension built as they exchanged words, with Reacher's expression transforming from steely determination to grim resolution. What baffled many fans was not only the killing itself, but the emotions behind it. In a landscape littered with intense confrontations and merciless criminals, the notion of taking the life of a minor character who hadn't been fully fleshed out left audiences scratching their heads. Why would the writers choose to eliminate this character, particularly in such a definitive manner? In the context of storytelling, every character, no matter how minor, serves a purpose. Often, they represent something larger, the consequences of the protagonist's actions, a reflection of the moral dilemmas faced throughout the narrative, or even the shifting dynamics of good and evil. Unfortunately, in this instance, the death felt like a frenzied plot twist rather than a carefully crafted narrative choice. Critics quickly took to social media and forums, analyzing the implications of Reacher's actions. Many wondered whether the choice to kill this character was meant to showcase Reacher's darker side, a shift from the heroic figure to a more flawed human being who is capable of taking innocent lives under pressure. However, others believed it was a moment that felt forced, an attempt to crank up the shock value without fully considering character development or emotional weight. Taking a step back, one must remember that Reacher operates in a morally ambiguous world, where life can be taken as easily as it is given. The character's philosophy revolves around doing what he believes is necessary to protect the innocent and uphold justice. Yet, by killing a lesser character who stood in his way rather than posing a direct threat, the emotional stakes felt skewed, and the justification behind the act quickly became divisive among the fanbase. This pivotal moment intersected with larger themes and motives present throughout the series. Throughout Seasons 1 and 2, Reacher is portrayed as a protector, a soldier who ultimately fights for the little guy. His character arc suggested a man navigating a world that craves justice, but often operates in shades of gray. Yet, this episode presented a rather jarring contradiction. It forced viewers to confront the question of whether Reacher had crossed a line, or if the moral grayness he navigated had finally consumed him. Some fans argued that by eliminating this character, the writers aimed to illustrate the brutal realities of the world Reacher inhabits, a world where no one is guaranteed survival, and even minor players can become collateral damage. But rather than serving as a powerful commentary on violence and consequence, the choice felt one-dimensional and left many questioning the story's intent. Was it a mere shock tactic to up the ante before the season finale? Conversely, some fans defended this narrative choice, arguing that it would introduce a nuanced view of Reacher's psyche. Perhaps it was meant to show that even the steadfast hero could falter under extreme pressure, illustrating that the burden of his heroic responsibilities could lead him to make questionable decisions. Many pointed out that this moment of moral ambiguity could pave the way for deeper exploration in the series. The audience may see Reacher wrestling with guilt and consequences more than ever in the seasons to come. As the discussion continued to unfold, a crack formed among fans. To some, this pivotal moment marked a turning point, a maturation of Reacher's character in a world that demanded tougher choices and bolder actions. For others, however, it served as a breaking point, a decision that eroded the very foundation of empathy and loyalty that had drawn them to the character in the first place. With the conclusion of Season 3, viewers are left grappling with more than just the storyline. They find themselves navigating emotional terrain that questions the essence of their beloved character. The shocking demise of this minor character has invoked a wave of discussion about moral ambiguity, the ethics of violence, and the emotional weight characters carry. As fans eagerly anticipate the fourth season, following the cliffhanger, only time will tell if the repercussions of this act will be explored in future episodes. Will Reacher face the aftermath of his actions, or will the writers pivot back to familiar themes of justice without delving deeper into the complexities introduced? Ultimately, the decision to end the life of this minor character may baffle many, but it has undoubtedly sparked dialogue, creating a richer tapestry of character exploration for the Reacher universe. The moral debates triggered by this moment remind viewers that though Reacher may be a skilled fighter and a man of principles, he remains as human as those he protects, tethered to the same entanglement of consequences that life presents to us all. For fans, this wrinkle in the storyline begs the question: are we prepared to follow Reacher as he navigates this ambiguous moral landscape, or do we wish to see him return to the hero we fell in love with? Only time will tell what lies ahead.